Hi, my name's Bex and today I'm doing the mid-year book freakout tag. It's felt like ages since I last filmed a video, been doing school stuff, but today I'm doing the mid-year book freakout tag, which is like the best tag created. I'm trying to work through like everybody's videos, but time is escaping me. I'm just gonna jump right into it. The first question is, what is the best book you've read so far in the year 2020? And for me this is The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern. I really loved this read. I'd anticipated it so much. Erin Morgenstern, this name means a lot to me. So I was just so thrilled that I loved the story so much and the magic of it. It was so enchanting and mysterious and magical. It's kind of just stuck with me, like just stuck in my brain, especially like the aesthetics of the book. To describe it briefly, The Starless Sea follows Zachary and he stumbles across a book in his university library which has a chapter that describes a scene from his childhood. And so he's just thrown into confusion. How is a memory from his childhood in this random book he's found in the library? And through trying to find the truth of this book and where it came from, he discovers like this secret society and they follow the symbols of like a key, a bee and a sword, and it's so much fun. I really recommend. It goes up and down. It's a ride. So the next question is, what is the best sequel you've read so far in 2020? I haven't read many, but I'm going to go for The Raven King by Maggie Stiefvater. This is the last book in the Raven Cycle series and I really enjoyed it. It massively stepped up from the third book, Blue Lily, Lily Blue, which was just a bit of a bore for me. Yeah, I enjoyed the ending. Like, I didn't think it was perfect, but I also think fantasy endings don't often end perfectly, so I did enjoy what it did. I always like Maggie Stiefvater's writing, and it's just the characters that is the pinnacle of why I love this book. It's Gansey, Adam, Ronan, Blue, Noah. We had a new character called Henry in this book. Absolutely loved it, so that would be my choice. The next question is, what are some new releases that have come out that you want to read but you haven't yet? And a couple that come to mind, unfortunately I can't remember the authors of these books, but there's Riot Baby, which is getting like such good reviews, and A Song Below Water, which is a story about sirens, but like black people becoming sirens. I don't even know, I just really like water themed books, so hyped to get to those. The next question is, what is your most anticipated release that hasn't come out yet in 2020? I have no idea. I don't follow what books are coming out. I just know of the books that like exist already, so I don't have an answer for this. No thoughts, head empty. Next question, what was your biggest disappointment? Please don't hate me, but my biggest disappointment was Naruto Volume 1. I thought I was going to love this story. It's so famous and the premise is really cool, and I'm just obsessed with this art situation that is going on in front of our eyes. If you've read on, please let me know if I should continue, but I just didn't enjoy myself while reading it. Like, they were fighting using their ninja skills and I just didn't really care. I don't know why, I just didn't connect. So I'm guessing that although this manga series did really appeal to me, perhaps it's not my thing. But yeah, so that was disappointing. The next question was, what was your biggest surprise? For this I'm choosing Little Fires Everywhere by Celeste Ng. I'm not really a contemporary reader. All of my books usually won't follow your typical everyday life type scenario, so I didn't think I was gonna like it. I picked it up ages ago and I started seeing people talk about it on BookTube loads, so I gave it a go. It's so good. It's so cleverly written. It did definitely make me think, you can't write off the whole contemporary genre. That's ridiculous, which is ridiculous. Just to highlight some of the aspects of this that I really enjoyed was the whole theme of photography. Mia is like this struggling artist kind of figure who just makes art all the time, and it's not necessarily bringing in lots of money, but it's just what like her life is for. And I just really enjoyed the passion that we see from that character. There's also a mysterious fire, obviously, that happens right at the beginning, and it only wraps up right at the end of the book. There's also just so much is happening in this book. There's also this whole court case going on between a white family who've adopted a Chinese American baby, and obviously they're so happy about that. They haven't been able to have any kids, but then the baby's mother decides that she doesn't want to give her baby up. She wants her back. And so there's this whole discourse on race and whether a white family can raise a Chinese American baby to like know and love her culture, and whether for that reason she should go back to her true mum who understands her roots and her heritage and things like that. I'm really bad at explaining this book. I'm gonna put this book down now because what was that description? So that leads to the question, what is a new favourite author that you've discovered this year? That would be Celeste Ng, because like I said, I love this one, and I also read Everything I Never Told You by her as well, which I really enjoyed too. I preferred Little Fires Everywhere, but ultimately she's just clearly a good writer, and so I'm definitely excited to see what she comes out with next. Her plots are really interesting. They bring such humanity and realism to the characters that you're hearing about as well. So it's just quite vivid and enjoyable and interesting, her books. So we love that. Okay, the next question is an interesting one. Newest fictional crush. I don't typically crush on fictional characters in books. Like, I definitely crush on fictional characters in TV shows, you know, the visuals, we're here for that. Yeah, I don't tend to crush on people in books. Regardless, I have come up with an answer for this, and I've gone with Laurie from Little Women. This is my cute illustrated version that I own, which is just adorable. Laurie is quite full of love, so he just seems like quite a pure character. So I thought that was really sweet, and also I kind of imagine him as a bit of a hottie, like a cute hottie. Obviously not Laurie as a wee child, talking about him as an adult, please people. And also he was played by Timothée Chalamet in the film, and I have not made my mind up whether I'm on the Timothée hype bandwagon yet. I can't tell if I think he's handsome or not. We're confused. But no, Laurie is such a sweetie, so I'm going to go with him. And then the next question is, who are your newest favourite characters? And I'm going to say, I really did love the Little Women in Little Women, especially Beth and Beth, Jo and Amy actually. Meg was kind of annoying in my opinion, but all these ladies were just like such good friends to each other, and just really enjoyed reading from them. I'll also say Henry Cheng that I mentioned earlier in The Raven King. I really enjoyed him as a new character to the Raven Boys gang. I don't want to say too much because obviously this is the last book. We just meet Henry in the last book. But I'm just saying, the toga party, I would like to attend. I'm here for the K-pop and the poetry. So let's leave it at that. He's a funny guy. Next question is a book that made you cry. This was the easiest question to answer because I rarely ever cry, so only one book so far has made me cry this year, and that was Room by Emma Donoghue. I'm not one to like cry, you know, when in like fantasy books, when characters die or just things get kind of emotional in the fiction world. I can be sad by it, but yeah, I do not feel that strongly. So I do feel like I'm missing out a bit. at people who just like cry at books all the time. I'm like, you must be feeling this so much more deeply than I am, because my brain is just kind of just enjoying the drama. But oof, I will describe this book, and it is very heavy, so please feel free to like skip on along to when this book has been put back down if you don't want to hear about it. But essentially, this book made me cry for what it spoke about the truth of real life. This book follows a boy called Jack, and all he knows is this one room and his mother who he's grown up with, and he knows nothing of the outside world or just anybody else, because what has happened is Jack's mother was kidnapped when she was, I think it's like 17 or 19, you know, a young woman. She was kidnapped and she's been kept in this room, and after a few years she becomes pregnant and has Jack. So this is the life that Jack knows. And what was just so heartbreaking about this is, yeah, it was just making me think about kidnapping and human trafficking and things like that, which are just most horrible topics to dwell on, but we kind of need to, because that's the reality of life that is happening. And it just made me so sick and just hurt me so much. I think Emma Donoghue does a great thing in this book by not making it completely tragic and disturbing. You know, it's not one of those books you read which is just like, the world is awful, the world is awful, the world is awful. There's moments of light in this book which I really loved, because, you know, we've got Jack and his mother and obviously the love between those two, and other moments that I won't spoil. But yeah, this is just devastating, and it's devastating to imagine that all across the world young women are kidnapped. So that just made me bawl. So not to like kill the mood in the house today, but that's kind of what it takes to make me cry. So moving swiftly on to a book you read this year that made you happy. You know, lots of books did, definitely, but what stands out to me is my reread of The Night Circus this month, again by Erin Morgenstern, my love. I do just want to say that we are, for the Paper Vacations book club, having a live stream for this book. It is being pushed back a week. It was going to be this Saturday, the 27th of June. It's not anymore. It's now the 4th of July, 8 p.m. UK time. We will be discussing this book, so please join in for that, with Susan is reading and Books and Violets. The live show I think will be great because we all love this book, so it'll just be really fun. So yeah, I reread this and I was so relieved that I still loved it, because there's nothing worse than having a favourite book, rereading it years later and being like, what was I thinking? That book is not good. So I was really really happy that this was again amazing and so magical and so beautiful yet again. The circus is just the best setting that has been written in a book, period. Also, the setting in the Starless Sea is, I think, is a contender for sure. She knows how to write a setting. And I did watch an interview with Erin Morgenstern, and she said that is how she starts her books. She like sees where it's set and then builds characters in the story from there. And so yeah, it makes sense that the setting is the strongest point of the books, which clearly I love. And if you're someone who's more, say, plot driven, then you probably won't like it as much as me, potentially. But yeah, that book made me really happy. The next question is the most beautiful book you've bought so far this year. Again, look at this. I read this years ago, but I bought this copy this year and we kind of love her. But I'll also want to shout out this copy of The Deep by Rivers Solomon. This is the type of book that if I just saw somewhere and knew nothing about it, I would just be gravitated towards the sea, towards the mermaid, towards the whale. It just looks so atmospheric and it sounds really good. I've not read it yet, but it's tiny. So I plan on reading it this month, hopefully. Okay, so the next question is, what books do you need to read by the end of the year? Now, just so many. My physical TBR is getting a bit out of hand, I need to just focus on it and actually start reading the books. But I've chosen 3. The first one is On the Come Up by Angie Thomas. This is going to be our Paper Vacations book club pick for July. So we're all really excited to read this. So this follows Brie, who's 16, and it's her dream to become a rapper. You know, not just a rapper, the best rapper of all time, but she certainly has so many obstacles to overcome. Her family is really poor. I think they're homeless, or perhaps their living situation is unstable and they're at a risk of becoming homeless. I'm not sure. Also, people perceive her as being trouble, no good, probably has no future ahead of her. So she's got so much pulling her back from her dreams. I really just hope that the ending is happy. I really want the ending of this book to be happy. I feel quite invested in it just by the blurb. I think this will be a really inspiring story about how she overcomes so many like disadvantages of life that have been put on her. So I'm really looking forward to this. Another book that I'm just really want to get to by the end of the year is One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest by Ken Kesey. I talked about this in my lockdown TBR video. It's kind of a book that is renowned in the mental health nursing profession. This features characters who are in a mental hospital. When is this set? I'm not sure when this book is set, but I know that it's set within the period where mental health was so stigmatized and you were just locked away for being insane, mad, and a threat to other people. And they did awful things to people. We follow like this Nurse Ratched character who's just villainous and treats these people so awfully. I don't even know what it's about, but like I said, it's so renowned in mental health nursing profession, so I'm just really interested to actually know what this classic is about and see what I think of it. And then lastly, of like my random picks that are just staring at me from my shelves, is Vicious by V. Schwab. I've yet to read any book by V. Schwab, but I've kind of got it in my head that I'll love her and love her books. Yeah, the plot of this just sounds amazing. We follow Victor and Eli, who are college roommates. I think they're buds. I think things are going really well, but then suddenly they have like this divide of opinion, or something goes wrong and they turn into enemies. I don't know if this has any magical elements, I'm not sure, but certainly I think we've got like scientific experimentation in this, and I think they kind of battle it out. I've probably described that poorly, but all I know is that I'm excited to get to this. I also love this cover as well. We've got like bones covering words, which is kind of dope. And then the last thing is to just shout out your favorite book community members, which I'll be honest, this stresses me out because everyone I'm subscribed to I'm a fan of, and it feels just uncomfortable to pick a few people. So I will just leave some of my favourite videos I've seen this week in the description for you to check out at your own pleasure. I'll keep to like small booktubers. Yeah, please check out the people in the description. Their videos are great. And with that, I will conclude this video. So I don't know if this was a complete shambles. I still feel awkward about filming, especially when I take such a long break from doing it, just getting out of the practice of it. But again, I love this tag, so I'm excited that I did it for the first time ever after seeing them for like years. But yeah, that is it. Just an update on me. I am finished with my first year of my degree for now. So I've got like 2 months of kind of summer holiday. Still in semi-lockdown situation in the UK. I do hope that I can embrace this opportunity to just read, watch loads of TV, movies, just live that indoor life to the full. But that's all really. Please let me know how you guys are doing in the comments, and I will see you in my next video.